Good morning, everybody. So we're doing some NASDAQ futures fun today. Sorry, I had a little bit of difficulty getting things all working this morning. But while we wait for Robert to hop on, maybe we'll look at some Bitcoin and other fun stuff. So let me see. I'm going to hop on. Let me share this screen here. Let me go over here. And oh, I see John hopping on. There we go. Robert will be along. Let's see. All right. So we've got this. Would you like this? All right, I kind of like that. I will do like this morning. So everybody, hopefully everyone can hear me and stuff. Get my settings right here. Audio, that's working. Speaker, can I hear myself? Yep, sure can. All right. Okay. So everybody, let's look at Bitcoin and the crypto market while we wait for Robert to hop on. I kind of got things started a little bit late today because I just didn't have my anyway, a mix of me and technical issues. So the market's getting ready to open. The traditional market will be open in like 4 minutes. We'll see how that affects things. Looking at a Bitcoin trading volume, we're down like 1.75%, only at like 5.6 billion right now. So really trading volume for Bitcoin is really pretty darn low. Definitely seeing some choppiness. We're at 57,300 right now. We had a bottom. This is an hourly chart, and we're starting to see higher lows again. So we'll see what happens, but we're pretty much ranging sideways until somebody pushes it one way or the other. Longs versus shorts. On Binance, we're seeing 65% long, 34% short. So definitely on Binance, where the big money is, we're seeing a serious long bias. So people think something's going to happen. In general, the top 20 exchanges are all green for spot trading, as in the last 24 hours, they have an increase in spot trading volume. The alts, all the top 100 alts, most are kind of in the red or marginal, but some are starting to turn green. Like Ethereum name service, interesting project, ENS, it's in the green right now. Multiverse X is turning green. So we're seeing a little bit of a trend towards the green now. Celestia, whatever that is, TIA, it's in the green 10%. So I think, and VeChain, VET. So we're starting to see the alt market turn towards green, although Bitcoin trading volume is pretty darn weak right now. And if I look at Bitcoin here, it's a 5-minute chart. Let's go to a 45-minute chart. Looking at Bitcoin, and let me check for... Oh, there's Robert. Boom. And now Robert is on the stage. Hey, everybody. Yeah. All right. Okay. So the market is about to open in 2 minutes. We've been looking at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's kind of sideways. It's challenging the 200 moving average on the 45, but it's pretty much just ranging sideways. We're starting to see some lower highs now. But really, to me, like, Bitcoin is pretty darn indecisive right now as far as the charts go, unless I dive into it deeper. But what is going on, Robert? How is the NASDAQ shaping up?
Well, it basically spent the whole night kind of going up and then chopping around a bit. It is kind of pumped up this morning. It looks to me like it could either just dump and then go up, or we could just have a red day. I'm not really sure. We do have Powell speaking today, from what I understand. Although I'm not sure because I haven't looked at the schedule. Looks like my video just went blank or something happened.
I still hear you. I just that your video froze, but I can still hear you. So I'll remove my screen share if you want to share your
Okay, sure. All right. So
the most.
Let's do the present share screen.
Oh, I like how when you remove it stays there where you can add it again easily. Okay, I'm figuring out this webinar thing.
Yeah, it's weird because today when I logged in, or when I came in, I had to do the whole thing with the background all over again, and so it is not sharing my screen that I can tell. It is New York Open.
Oh, there it is. Boom. Okay, now it is.
Great.
There it is.
So we do have New York Open right now. Let me see if I want to take a trade. That's weird. Yeah, it basically started going up a bit right at New York Open. So you can see that probably moving. I'll put it on 2-minute candles. So it's kind of jumping up and down.
Oh yeah. So, oh, look at that volume come in. So as the market opens, like right now, we're starting to see that. Are we going to see one of these mornings where it's always the big question: is it going to dump or pump in the morning? It usually does some kind of a move, and that initial move can be great to catch, but it's also, quite often, very unpredictable what it's going to do. Look at those. That's a 1 hour candle. Look at those wicks on there. Wow. So definitely there's some stop loss hunting out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. 1 hour looks like it could roll over. 30-minute could go either way. 30-minute almost looks very slightly bullish. 15-minute looks bullish to me. 5 minutes is
Yeah.
mega bullish.
It is opening it's ready for action.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been an interesting trade, but I'm not going to chase it just because it's.
Oh yeah, it's come. Yeah, it's already coming up on resistance, or where there would be, where you'd expect it, and like you say, it's usually like about 25 minutes after market open that you get the more solid direction one way or the other.
There's a lot of traders that just jump in and go long when it starts to go up right at the open. They just start buying it. Right now, I'm looking at the amount of shorts coming in, and there's a lot of shorts, mostly shorts above 7 units, 7 and above. So this is all, of course, short-term stuff. But I do feel that on the short time frames, it's now pretty well overbought.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and that's one of the things that I'll link to. I got a bunch more links to start putting in the description, and always just you can find them at bitcoindailyview.com. You can find them there right at the top. I was working on that, and I didn't update it since last time, but I have it all. I just need to cut and paste it all in there and update that so people can have the same. Like I have a list for the all the symbols that you're looking at for futures and such, so people can just import that easily. And also Bookmap, I was looking at that, and I'll definitely share a link for that so people can find it easily, because watching that order book is really a lot of precision in that. When you can see the longs and the shorts coming in, it's effective. It's just another data point that has, I think, a lot of value. And the market is opening insane today. Oh my gosh.
I was really tempted to, when it was getting ready to engulf that last little candle, I was really tempted to just go long like a minute ago. And I thought, this usually turns into a scenario where it's testing the market and then it just pumps higher. And I thought, I'll just wait, because you got to make a decision. And
yeah,
I decided to stay out, just for the sake of not wrecking my live account. Well, XFA.
Yeah. Well, I think that's no, it's always good, when you have a plan. And I know I'm tempted to do that now too. Is just when it looks negative or positive, just get that like initial buy in there. But and one can do that if it feels right, go for it. But also the thing is, even if you miss that initial dump or pump, the retrace once it confirms. Like right now, I think we're probably getting into a short zone.
Yeah,
But it
right.
could turn around. It's like that initial market open is such a tempting moment to just you know be impetuous.
Yeah, in other words, just YOLO into the trade, right?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
YOLO into it. Just it's yeah. I guess you could
yeah.
always YOLO with a small position. You have like your morning, $20 YOLO.
Well, if you want to YOLO into a trade, you can trade micros.
Mm-hmm.
So they're 1/10 the amount per click or per tick as the micro. I mean, as the mini. So we're looking at minis. This is the NASDAQ mini, $5 a tick, using a prop account, per 1 unit, which is the lowest you can go. But I believe, now correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that the micro NASDAQ is 50 cents a tick. So you can use more leverage and not be as nervous, stay in trades longer, and if you lose some money on there, it's going to be like $50 versus losing 500. If
Oh,
you mess up a trade, you can do that in like 15 seconds or 10 seconds
yeah.
on the NASDAQ mini. So this actually might be the start of a really radical day. So yeah, this is a strong start. I haven't looked at the schedule. I should check it. Usually I get my information from Top Step. They have a excuse me. They have a page on there where it'll show you all the when the speakers are talking, and non-farm and inflation meeting minutes. So
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Powell is
yeah.
probably one of the most influential speakers on the markets.
Oh, for sure. And like you mentioned, how every word affects the market. And I ran into somebody yesterday who actually they were involved in development of, well, there's a lot of different, of course, systems that are sentiment, reading and listening. And I met somebody who is a programmer and actually has worked on that, and even has the code from when he was working on that. But yeah, there is very active development along those lines where they say it's scanning mail. Not mail, it's scanning like websites, the news, this and that, but also speech to text being processed. It's so yeah, Pal's speech is being listened to by the AI, and it is grabbing that sentiment along with other. It's not just listening to him; it's listening to people's reactions on YouTube and such that are live streaming it and giving commentary and news. So it is true. His every word is actually I'll call it the AI, but the algorithms are actually very actively listening to what he says, and they are affecting the buys and sells in the market. I mean, so I met somebody who actually is doing it, and I saw this code and everything, and I was like, I was amazed. I was like, wow, this is for real.
And if you notice, when some of these speakers talk, you can
Yeah.
hear the same keywords in a row and actually watch how they affect the algorithm and the movement of the price. And you just say to yourself, this is purposeful, using these words over and over again. You'll hear them use, say, 3 keywords in a row, 3 different times perhaps. And each time you see it, and then you go, well, they're doing this to move the markets because they make money on this stuff. It's too weird to make up when you watch it happen. So yeah, I knew that keywords would affect price movements in the market. And they're not
Oh
just
yeah,
doing
for
this
sure.
because they
And
want to keep their easy jobs. They do it because they want to move the market in a certain way.
oh yeah,
And if they want to be
I always
hawkish,
joke.
they can dump the market.
It's totally true. Yeah, I always joke about that, and that if you're in on that conference call, then because there's always some people on that call. I always joke about it's like George Carlin used to talk about. It's a big club and you ain't in it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, George Carlin. What a
yeah,
straight shooter. He's funny as hell.
yeah. And that's become one of those things we have in our culture that it's like Office Space and Idiocracy. They weren't great movies, but they're a cultural reference. And so many things that George Carlin said are just cultural references now. And so, yeah, it's a big conference call, and you ain't in it. but
Actually, Idiocracy is one of my favorite movies.
yeah,
I watched it like 4 times, 5 times. I don't know.
we wanted to revisit Office Space and Idiocracy recently. It's good to refresh yourself. I haven't watched it in a couple of years, and I'm curious to watch it again because, as we joke, we didn't realize it was going to be a documentary, but unfortunately,
Yeah, Idiocracy, we're living in it right now. We're seeing the culmination of de-evolution. Of course, a lot of this is actually not, it's not natural. It's done by other forces to
hmm,
dump people down.
yeah,
And
yeah. Well,
anyway,
there's a good little homework assignment for everybody. Watch watch Idiocracy because it will help your trading. It really will.
yeah,
uh,
I think so.
so, and that's one thing I need to add some links to. Like I say, I started to get all that together. I'm going to cut and paste it into the description later, but I'll put it over at Bitcoin Daily View. I wanted to link to some of the good guys on like Rip uh, on Top Step because
Rips.
yeah, Rips, because even if you're not trading that morning, if you just want to listen, or just watch while you're doing stuff, that is really great. Sometimes you want to just chill and watch a pro and just learn. You know what I mean? You get the feel for things, and so he's great to listen to when I'm not trading. So I want to make that easy for people to find.
Yeah, he's got his own show on Market Clubhouse is the name of the channel.
On YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube. He starts at 5 a.m. Pacific, and he does really fast trades based on looking at Bookmap, and he will basically, get in and out of trades, and sometimes make like $12,000 on a trade.
Woof.
It takes him, not much time to really. He just doesn't have to stay in it because he's good and he knows what he's looking at. He has a pretty
Yeah.
high win rate too.
So I'll put that in the chat. I think everybody will see that. And then I'll link that into the greater notes, and because he's like I say, he's great to watch even like after the fact. I find that I only just got into it, but he he's like I say, you can just sit back and become a better trader, even if your methodology is different. He's great just to watch. I mean, it's nice that he live trades like that. Um, and one thing I was going to ask you is that, with Top Step, I was looking at the different, like right now I'm just doing practice stuff, but like
Yeah,
the whole like trading combine, I was looking at that and I'm like, how exactly does this work? Because I wanted to like open an account like that, but I'm still figuring out like, uh, I guess you look at your trading combine. If you want to do that, then you pay for that service as well. Then you can fund your account, and it seems like that's how it works. I was still figuring that out. I need to figure that out today so I can actually.
I can explain it pretty easily.
Yeah, if you could, because it's one of those things where it is simple, but it's only simple after you know how it works.
Well, TopStep is basically a prop firm. They started out as a kind of like a headhunting service. They were trying to find the best traders, obviously for business purposes. maybe trade as a team, so forth. And they became a prop firm, I believe, in 2012. And what they do is you subscribe to a service, you get a $50,000, $100,000, or $150,000 combine, which is a testing account, and you're tested on it. And let's say, for example, you have a $50,000 account combine. All you have to do is show $3,000 worth of gains before losing $2,000. So you get that thing up to 53,000, you automatically pass your combine. And then once that happens, you pay $149 and you get your express funded account. At which point your monthly subscription to Top Step goes away. So you pay one time $149 for the 50K, 100K, or 150K XFA based on what your combine was, and then there's no more subscription fees. Once you do pretty well in your XFA, your express funded account, then you'll be manually called up to a live account, which actually has real money in the account that goes into the market. And one thing I learned about the XFA, the express account, is it's still a simulation account, but you get paid real money. How do you get paid real money? Because they are copying your trades internally. And if you show gains on your XFA, they're earning the money to pay you by copying your trades.
Oh, wow.
So, but yeah, the combine is the first step. That's probably why it's called Top Step. The combine is the first step in getting you moving along in your trading journey. You don't have to trade the NASDAQ. You can trade gold. You can trade silver. You can trade a variety of commodities. I believe you can even trade some Forex. You can trade micro Bitcoin. So, yeah, you just basically pay for a subscription. You never use your own money, whether you're in the XFA or the live. It's their deal. You don't have to inject your own money into the markets. So I really like it. I think it's a great value, and I think that anybody who's interested in trading should be doing it.
Yeah. I just fired up the combine where you select it, then you have to like do a little digital signature like 2 or 3 times, and then here I am, and I can see my my like practice, and I can see my combine 50K combine, and I like how you can just like you mentioned the whole trading here when you're in Top Step, and you can just trade right there on the chart. And I've always liked that. Ever since I first saw Bybit, I think it was the first exchange where I saw that.
Yeah.
It's just I almost sometimes I will use I guess you say like the traditional, buy, sell, like how you'd usually put it in, but when you can just right click and when you can just put it on, make it on the chart, it's so much more. I don't know. For me, I'm just visual, and I'm sure some people like putting in the numbers better. But for me, being able to trade right there on your chart is it's just, you can't beat it.
Yeah, and I'll just mention briefly that if you do decide to get a prop account, I do think, and I'm not getting paid for this in any way, shape, or form, I do think Top Step is probably the best choice, because some of the prop firms make you wait a long time to get paid, or they don't pay at all. Some of them get shut down, but I'm certain that Top Step isn't going anywhere. They've been around for a long time. And, it's just a good deal. The other thing, well, you go ahead. I'm going to gather my thoughts here.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me actually for a sec, I'll add this to stage and see what happens. There we go. So I think people can see my little Top Step account now.
Yep.
And
Good.
so this is what you're actually seeing. So when you start it up, and I just did this for the first time today, So it's new to me. And what am I actually looking at here? What
Yeah,
is
you
my
got your
ticker?
chart on the left. In the middle section, in the top, you have your basically your green button is go long, your red button up there is to go short, and
Yeah,
then you have the buttons, the gray buttons below that, are basically um, join bid, join ask. So bid is bid is long. Yeah, excuse me. Bid is long. Ask is short. Then you have close position, reverse position, cancel orders, flatten all, cancel all. So
yeah, and those are pretty self-explanatory, I guess. I mean, like the market's easy, but then the join bid and join ask, I guess, is that sort of like a limit or?
I don't use those at all. Um, I don't actually I don't have any way to explain those because I just don't know. Um,
Yeah, that makes sense. So NASDAQ future, boom. Okay, so now I'm into the NASDAQ here
yeah,
and looking at 15-minute chart. I can go to like, let's go to like 5 minutes. And I like that you can actually, I don't have it here, but I guess you can make chart templates here, like indicator templates.
yeah. I just started putting indicators on my Top Step X chart here about a week or so ago. So basically, I keep it pretty bare because I'm using TradingView as my guide with all the indicators that I use together. On Top Step X, though, I have volume and I have VWAP, and that's it.
Yeah, makes sense. And so we're definitely hitting that retrace here, looking at the 5 minute here on the S&P futures. And I like that you can see the little, I guess, order book over here showing you what's, yeah, the volume at the different price levels. That's kind of fun to see. You can see that that's useful to see like where the most. I've always liked these kind of charts here, like where you see the volume per price point. I like that, and so you can see what people are doing. And then here I haven't even done it before, but if I wanted to catch this, like if I thought it was going to retrace here, because we got some previous support and resistance here, and if I thought it was going to retrace, I wonder if I can just intuitively do it. Like what if I wanted to try to buy that? So if I right click, I could say, how would I get in here? I'll see if I can.
Well, I wouldn't use that. If
Oh,
you want to buy it, you go to the middle section, the top part of that
right
middle
here.
section, yeah, where the
Mm-hmm.
green button is. But before you do that, make sure it's on market. You can market buy and do a little trade. Make sure it only says like plus 1 unit
Yeah.
instead of multiple units.
So like
Now, if you
market
wanted to buy
there.
it and take a really quick trade, which I wouldn't do right now, by the way, um, you can, once you're in, like within a quarter second or less after you hit uh, bid 1 unit, you'll see a little tiny rectangle on your screen just to the right of the price action. And then all you do is to set a take profit. You hold your left mouse button down while clicking on that little box that shows your entry, and then push it up and then let it go. And that
Hmm.
sets your take profit. So it's really easy to use. And you do the same thing on the bottom end when you're going long. You want a little stop loss down there if you choose to, and you can just drag down the price entry that shows your current P&L and drag it down, let it go, let the left mouse button go, and there's your stop loss. So Top Step X platform is their proprietary thing they came out with about a month and a half ago, I believe. Maybe it's been almost 2 months. But my buddy and I got deals because we were using this new platform, and they were given 50K combines for $19. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I just got in. Well, I guess my monthly right now is 19 something. There was that
yeah,
deal. So occasionally they do have deals you can get in on, kind of like TradingView, I'm sure. But yeah, so I won't do it, but you can right click and I can see what I can do here, and I'm set for number of contracts is just one. It's a market, and I of course could do the old school way of doing it here, which would be no problem. But I like that I can actually boom, just do it right here in the chart. And then of course you can move your stop loss and things like that. And that's just a great way of doing it. So I'm not going to do it right now, but in the future, I'll certainly sit here in my combine and I'll trade, and people can see. I don't mind. You can see my win or my disaster or whatever.
Well, here's what I do, Craig. I would have a trading view tab open. I keep mine just to the left of my top step tab, and I can just really quickly look at it and go, well, I can see that, on the 2-minute, we have a crossing of the 5 and the 10, but we don't have any decisive, see how it's going up. It's kind of pumping low key. So anyway, what I'm saying is I use TradingView for reference because I got the indicators there, because the only types of levels that I trade instinctively are breakouts. So if I know that looking at the candle patterns on Top Step X on the bear chart, if I instinctively know that the price is going to break through a prior resistance area, I might take the trade there and set a fairly tight stop.
No, it makes sense.
So, but there are traders, there are quite a few traders. A lot of the guys that are on Top Step TV don't use they either use a couple indicators or they don't use any at all. A lot of them are looking at the order book, book map. Now, book map is really unique because it'll show bubbles. Based on the size of those bubbles, you can basically follow a path to where the price is likely to go, especially if there's bubbles all the way. The bubbles represent the orders. The bubble size shows you how big the orders are based on units. So it's kind of hard to explain. You'd have to see it, but
yeah, I'll share it like next time. I signed up and I have the free version of it for the moment, and I can kind of just I have a pretty big monitor, so I think I can just share my whole screen, and people could see like the trading view, and then the top step and the book map, and just could see it all at the same time. That'd be kind of fun, because that's what I think trading requires a big monitor. I can
yeah,
although
I've got a 32-inch.
yes,
And it's pretty nice. I wish it was a little bit taller, but that's okay. Now I do want to mention one thing.
yeah,
What you're looking at on your screen is, below you've got 2 panels in the middle there, what I call the middle. Top panel is your buy and sell area. Now down below that it says time and sales. Do you see that?
yeah, I do. I'll make this a little bigger so we can
Time and
see it.
sales shows you the price that they're going short or long at and the amount of units they're placing. So you can set your little gizmo there that says
Size fill to like
it says size filled. You can change that. I usually am looking at 7 and above or 8 and above, so it's not showing me all the 1s and 2s and
gotcha.
4s and all that. Because these are bigger guys that are trading bigger amounts. Now occasionally you'll see something really big, such as 250 units or 150 units. When you see those, you know that somebody's really serious, either about influencing the market or doing some really heavy-duty scalping. So
Yeah.
these guys can move markets. They can bully other traders. They can bully the market. They can oppose your orders, eat all your liquidity. So I kind of just keep one eye open on that particular area, just so I can kind of see what's going on in the order book. Now, it's not anything even close to using book maps. Book map is next level. Great stuff. I'm going to learn how to use it and start utilizing that into my daily trading.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's where you start needing multiple monitors. So you can have book map over here. You can have all your
Yeah,
screens.
I've thought about that, but I kind of have tunnel vision. If I
Oh yeah.
concentrate on something, I need to really concentrate on it, or I'll start missing entries, and I'll look at something like 5 minutes ago. Oh man, I should have taken that 2 minute bullish crossing. Price is just going up like mad now, and I'm not in the market. But if I got too many things going on, or I'm looking at too many assets, it can just leave you all behind, depending on your,
Yeah.
how your brain works. So I think that just having either one monitor, you can split the screen if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably pretty good right there. But to each his own. That's just my individual style.
No, I'm the same way. I like to have just one larger monitor so I can see it all right there. Yeah, multiple, it's not so great. But I definitely can see where you see those trader setups and they have like, like two stacks of monitors. And I'm like, well, I'm sure I could see it. But I think my primary monitor I was working with would be the one right in front of me. And I have little references out and about. But yeah, there's only so much you can watch in real time anyway. We only multitask so well, and
Right. Now there is one thing I was thinking about last night that I want to briefly talk about
yeah.
intuition. So I know that there's quite a few traders out there that just kind of know what's happening in the market, or they get so tuned in that their intuition is basically leading their trades. Intuition is your best friend. And to add a little woo-woo factor to it, if you want to go and really explore that, I think that a person that trades, that really wants to make a lot of money trading, should at least explore remote viewing. And the
Hmm.
reason is because, number one, it's been proven to work. The government has spent a great deal of money on it. And I know that it works. Now, if I was really good at remote viewing, I could probably see where the price is going to go, um,
Mm-hmm.
and really just look into it. Now, as far as being watching candles for so many years, trading, if I get tuned into the market, I just know what a good trade is going to be. I know that I'm not going to end up on the wrong side of the coin, so to speak. I'm not saying I'm doing any remote viewing to sense the market, but just remember that intuition is your best friend, and your first decision, like where you're going to take profit at based on the levels, where you're going to put your stop loss, 95% of the time you're going to be right the first time. If you change it after the fact, you changed it based on emotion, whether it's fear, greed, etc. If you change your stop loss and your take profit, you're probably going to mess up your trade. And your stop loss and your take profit should be a set it and forget it scenario. You should be able to go off to the grocery store and just leave the trade. And if you hit your stop loss, that's okay, because you already predetermined that's how much you can afford to lose on that trade. But if you got a
Yeah, it's
nice
true.
reward waiting, if it hits your take profit, it's probably going to hit it if you have good intuition and you set it based on something you saw in the levels, resistance, etc.
No, it makes sense because we have and like remote viewing. I can certainly put some links to remote viewing stuff, and also meditation to me, whatever that is for an individual, like whether it's walking the dog, whether it's that's a huge umbrella term with a lot underneath it, but whatever that meditative practice is for people, um, quite often we're not present. A lot of us,
Right.
the world tends to make us just dizzy, running around. Our emotions are a mess. And so to have some kind of a meditative process that one gets into, and there are many, I certainly could suggest some, but there's many, whatever that is for the individual. You really need to get to that center, to that point of presence, awareness, consciousness, and be there some throughout the day, whenever your practice is, because that's where the intuition exists. That's going to be like your foundation, and then you have to feel from there. And you know it's most of us are not even in our bodies, you might say, most of the day. We're all stressed out. That's something I constantly am battling with, and I'm winning the battle, but I have to my life is easy, it's good, but I'm like always running. I mean, it's just there really isn't 15 minutes of the day that's not kind of accounted for. So I'm trying to find that increase that meditative presence within a very busy schedule, you might say, with a lot of stresses and a lot of this and that. Because
Right.
if you're not in your body, if you don't have that center, your trades are based on, well, they could still be based on hard numbers, but if you want to pull that intuition into it, which is really the last mile, which is that that place that really makes you profitable, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to sit on your ass and be quiet.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing that Hogue says. He says, remember, humble, grateful, creative, and centered. Now, all those things
Yes.
are very positive, and if you memorize those 4 words and incorporate them into your life, you're going to become a better trader. You don't want
Mm-hmm.
to get cocky and say, "Oh, I'm really good, and look at how rich I am." You have to stay humble
Yeah.
and be grateful. If you don't trade one day, you're still taking a position. Be grateful that you didn't just YOLO in and lose money, and be creative as far as learning new things. Don't think, oh, this system is the best there ever is, and I don't need to learn anything else because, you know, I already have it down. Well, no, there's always more things you can learn. Be creative in the learning process and learn new things and see if you can incorporate those into your own personal style.
Oh yeah.
And then
Yeah.
being centered has to do with, being in the moment, meditate, do whatever you have to do to quiet down all the noise so you can really concentrate and just cue in on, making money. So
Yeah.
um, this Friday, I believe, my daughter is going to join me for trading lessons. I really want to show her how to trade the NASDAQ. It has its own nuances. It takes a while to really get it. Um, it can be tricky, but with with the years of experience that I've gained at blockchain education, I just want to pass that along to her,
Oh
so,
yeah.
so that she can either have something to fall back on, or maybe she'll just become a full-time professional trader, um, trading other people's money, which I think is a great way to live your life. There's a lot of traders, they just trade the first 2 to 3 hours in the morning, New York Open to, that's basically considered fast markets. And
Yeah.
then they just go to the gym and go for a walk and
Yeah. Well, I'm watching
do
this
it.
guy's if I look at the time frame on these lives that Rips does here on Market Clubhouse,
Yeah,
it's like an hour 14, an hour 48, an hour 42, an hour 39. So basically in under 2 hours, maybe, an average of about an hour and 15 minutes, this guy's done for the day.
yeah. He might take another trade off screen, but
Yeah.
he's also doing. He has a kind of a private thing he does for his Discord group, so he might not even be on YouTube, but
Mm,
he might be coaching his Discord subscribers.
yeah.
Um, he does have a $7 trial for a week. I think it's a pretty interesting thing to try, just because there's about a 6 to 7 second lag when you're watching a live stream on YouTube, but on Discord there's no lag. The latency is very, very fast, so
Mm.
you can actually trade live with him and enter the trades as he enters them, if you choose.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could just use one unit if you're trading the minis. You don't have to start piling on units, because he'll usually start with one or two based on how he feels about the market, and then sometimes he adds up to a total of 15 units.
Wow.
because he's trading 150K XFA or even a live
Oof.
account.
Wow. I'm watching one thing that's neat is when you watch the time and sales and the units, like I'm noticing that they're increasing as the trading day gets rolling. I'm noticing, bigger orders come in. Like on the average, the orders are I'm seeing more larger orders, like over 7 coming in. So that's interesting. You see, I like that being able to see it. And well, one
I'd
thing
like
we should do. Go ahead.
I'd like to
Oh,
see some direction as far as this chopping up and down stuff that just makes me hesitate and, think, well, shoot, if I go long, I could get wrecked here. But it's starting to have it show a little bit of consistency to it.
yes, it definitely likes this previous support right here and resistance. How about like on a 15-minute chart? What do we see? Ah, well, definitely see some, lower highs are adding up. I mean, that's
Yeah, you can make money in this market today, but you have to be willing to take some heat. Personally, I don't have a huge amount of padding, and I'm using 2 units, which is the most I'm supposed to use with my current balance. Um, I think you can use more leverage in a combine and get away with it, but you can also blow your combine. If you're using like 4 units, you can blow it pretty quickly if you make a mistake and stubbornly stay in the trade. Um,
yeah.
if you have a method to it, like you're using um, a 5 and a 10 or some type of slow and faster moving average on a 2 minutes or above, you can get a pretty good entry and just make some money. Now it's trying to go higher here than those opening 2 candles on the 5 minute. And that's
Let
what
me
I'm
actually,
looking at. It acts like it wants to just go off.
let me actually pull that in here. Oh, look at that. I'm looking at Bitcoin. It's NASDAQ.
Yeah, the contract we're trading right now should, in Top Step X, it should, and as well as TradingView, it should say NQU 24. I believe on TradingView it says NQU 2024. Yeah. So this is the September contract that we're currently trading.
Okay, so right here. There we go. And so, yeah, looking at this guy here on the 5 minutes, we definitely can see. Mm,
Yeah, so it does look bullish on the 5 minute. Now the Trendillo is kind of high.
right here at Trandillo, the RSI is kind of rolling over. Your stochastic RSI is rolling over. Squeeze is a little bit indecisive. Um, the easy entry exit is kind of, if I get that whole thing in here,
It kind
I
of
think,
started to roll over, but there's a big old bull signal just
yep,
right in
bear
there.
bull
And
there. Yeah. Oh,
it's a mess.
if we zoom out to, let's say, like 15 minutes for a little bit more clarity, what are we seeing there? Let's go full screen. Let's pull it all in. Yeah, I mean it's well, it is above the uh, there is this previous top that it's above now. You know,
One
it's
thing I want
just
to show you real quick.
can it actually hold that and then work from there? Yeah.
Yeah,
If you wanna share,
absolutely
I'll just
right. Yeah,
yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, I'll remove. Yeah, go ahead and
Okay,
share your.
so on TradingView, if you go over to the left here and it says forecasting and measurement tools, on my screen it's the fourth, symbol on the left bar from the top. You click there and you go down to price range. Now, this is a really volatile instrument, so I use this very often, every day, and it will show you can figure out how much drawdown you can get before you get wrecked. So I can
Oh,
see here from this top up here to the last low, which is down here, it's like 230 ticks.
mm,
Well, if you have a 50K account, your daily loss limit is $1,000. So if you show $1,000 loss on your and hit daily loss limit, you won't be able to trade until the market opens again at 3 p.m. Pacific, which is also 5 p.m. Central. So yeah, I mean, if you went long here and then it just goes, and goes down that much, all you need is 200 ticks to the downside, and you will hit your daily loss limit. So I use this a lot to figure out not only to the downside, but how much will I gain if I was to say get in here and trade it back up to here. Well, that's 135 ticks. Well, I know that it's $5 a tick per unit. So 135 times 5 is that's $675 at one unit. That's a pretty nice trade. So all I have to do is take half this range to the upside, and I make that amount of money. If I'm using 2 units, I'd be making 1,350. So you can do it that way. You can use a calculator. You can do it in your head. But this price measurement tool is extremely valuable, and everybody should know what it is, where it is, and how to use it.
Yeah.
So
I like that. And where was that again in TradingView? That's
it's just over here on the I'll show you. So over here on the left, it says forecasting and measurement tools.
Okay, that one.
You click the little right caret and you go down to price range.
Price range. Okay.
And there it is. And then you just, if you want to go, how much it is to the downside, you click on the upper end, pull it down. And then if you notice, you've got negative numbers showing up, negative percentage in parentheses, and then minus 211 says it's 200 ticks on the NASDAQ. So, and you can verify that with a calculator. 25-cent move is 1 tick, 25 cents in value, 4 ticks to the dollar. So if the price is going to go down from 760 down to 700, that's $60. That's going to be 240 ticks. 4 ticks to the dollar in move.
Perfect.
Up or down. And then, so this is as negative numbers here because I drug it down. If I take it here and drag it up, I've got positive numbers. Now, the upside is going to be a little different than the downside. Percentages change, and it gives you an accurate read on, where should I put my stop loss? How much can I afford to lose? I was going to get in down here. I could have a, maybe a 60-point stop loss. That would be a $300 stop loss at 1 unit. But if I was using 2 units, I could lose $600 if it goes the wrong way and hits my stop loss, presumably if I'm going long. So this tool is super helpful, and it's going to save you a lot of heartache and wondering what happened and why did I not put my stop loss at a better place. This just basically helps you figure out how to do it. So
no, it makes sense. Well, I gotta run my little self to work here. What I was thinking is we can schedule the next one. Like my free days this week are like Wednesday and Friday. Thursday's a little difficult, but like if we wanted to do Wednesday and Friday or either one, we could like schedule it and schedule to start a little early so we can get on things.
Okay.
If either of those days work, either or both, I can definitely hop on those 2 days.
Yeah. Does this change week to week, or is it pretty much Wednesday and Thursday each week?
For me, every week is like really my best days are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday during the week. And sometimes I can do a Monday and a Thursday, but Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday are kind of like my easy days.
Okay. Let's do it again tomorrow.
And then we should start at like 6 or start at 6:15 or.
What I'll do is I will message you, and we'll figure out the time based on if there's any speakers that day, because we can catch some pretty interesting volatility if we're able to start sometimes at 5:30. If there's really nothing happening at 5:30 Pacific, then 6:15 a.m. Pacific time is good.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do it. So like we'll probably before then we'll like let me know when to start it, and then I'll just put I'll just put the invite out into blockchain education, and then people will see it on the YouTube streams too. They'll see the so they can click notify if they want to hop in on it, and
Yeah.
I'll try to push it out here and there. Yeah, but let me know when to start tomorrow, and I will I'll get that scheduled, and also there'll be a bunch more links in the description, some things like a book map and a bunch of other stuff, so that it's easy for people to follow along. And yeah, over at it's in the description, but over just blockchain education, not blockchain education, but Bitcoin Daily View. It's just a one page, just page with links on it. But um, there's some stuff linked to there now, but I'll get the rest of it linked to also, just so there is a template that should in TradingView should pull up all the indicators that we're using. People can give it a try, see if it works, and then you can save it locally, but I have a pretty good template that matches what we're doing, and that just helps people to follow along. It makes it easy, and it's kind of cool how Robert's video has just been, it kind of got stuck early in the game in this like very like kind of silent meditative look.
Yeah, the black screen. Nice.
Yeah, you see black. I just see you with your eyes closed. It's kind of cool. It's like just reminding us to be present.
Yeah, be present in the moment and be grateful that you have really good eyesight.
Yeah,
So
it's actually true.
yeah,
Be thankful.
count your
Well,
blessings.
all right. Well, everybody, take care, and we'll get the invite out for tomorrow.
Sounds good, Craig. Thanks for
All right.
having me.
Oh, thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.